Everybody, bop, 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 bop. So we are back. It's another Tuesday night. It's another horror movie night live stream. Let's get the ticker going down there at the bottom. And just a heads up, no guests this week, but you're not just getting me. You're getting Scott too. Scott's here. Bop, 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 bop.
I mean, always. I'm here to live deliciously, bitches.
Dude, so this is completely unrelated to anything tied to horror movies, but I mean, when are we ever on topic anyway?
Yeah, there's no topic.
So I posted this stupid long Facebook post the other day, earlier today, right? And then I also broke it into different pieces as a long Twitter thread. And I've gotten so far 2 different notifications that made my jaw drop from my Twitter thread. The first one was that some random CNN anchor retweeted my thing out and was like, here's some good vibes for people out there. Read this thoughtful thread about being a good person. And then Jim Henson's biographer also retweeted out my my thread of shit. So like, even if they're the only 2 people that retweet it, I'm on cloud 9. The Jim Henson's biographer read it and was like, I like this kid.
Yeah, dude.
So that's my morning.
So do you follow him?
No, and he doesn't follow me either.
Jim Henson's biographer?
I think
that's nice.
I think I made a reference to Jim Henson somewhere in the thread, and he was like, well, let's see what the fuck this is about. But like, still, I was floored. And yeah, for sure, I don't need to cry on this episode. The only tears I want on this episode
it's the day that ends in Y.
Yeah, I need the tears of joy. But how have you been doing, Scott? What's life been like over in the Roger household?
I got a haircut last week, and it is just crazy pants today. It's been very humid here. Raining every day. And so my curly hair is like, well, your hair, you have basically the exact same hair as me.
Yeah, no, it's pretty rough.
Hey,
but
I want to give a shout out to Tom. Tom lost his best friend today. He had a dog for 15 years, Tom, if I remember correctly, and he had to say goodbye today. And so, like, shout out to Tom. It is never easy, and it is just it's real rough. I was thinking about Petey last couple of days. So Sunday was Father's Day, and as anyone who listens might know, Megan and I do not have children, but we have dogs. So it was Dog Dad's Day, and she we can get into that in a bit. But she got me a card at Target. Because she got me some waterproof gloves for the kitchen. Because I was complaining about how my fingers are getting scalded. 13 years. But yeah, so I was saying that my fingers were getting scalded at the commercial kitchen where I'm working on my my vegan business, and so she got me that, and she got me a card, and on the card she wrote a wonderful note, and then she tried to get the dogs to lick it, to like give kisses to it, but they wouldn't do it, and she was like, how can I get the dogs to give kisses to daddy's Dog Dad's Day card? And so she put some peanut butter on it. She got all 3 dogs to lick it. So it smells like peanut butter, and it has dog kisses inside. And I definitely cried when I saw it, because it was such a sweet thing, and also the first I don't know, like, we don't take Father's Day very seriously, like in Dog's Day in the house or anything like that. But I was just missing Petey terribly, and he was such a good dog, and he was like my shadow. So it was just, it was emotional. But this is why I do horror movie night and not like dramatic movie night, because I don't want to feel.
So I'm not sure if you saw, but a friend of the podcast, Chris Fafios, got a envelope and card from his dog and 2 cats with a single dollar bill inside of it that that Steve from Punchline dropped off at his doorstep. Let's see. Derek says that he has a dog now. He cried when they were supposed to stop fostering it. They don't have kids either, so Michaela got him a portrait of the dog and a Taylor Swift record. What a good. Michaela's good people.
That's phenomenal.
That was last week's guest, Derek.
Well, yeah, and
we've had two.
I feel like
we got to get into the fact that we've had 2 different guests in 2 different weeks. One that you got the whole conversation on the air for the most part, but in both cases we went well over our hour just in random talk, both times about some form of heavy metal music. With Jonathan, it was talking about Rhapsody of Fire, and with Derek, it was all 80s,
I love
80s British New Wave.
Yeah, I think it's so funny that you and John are like, oh yeah, Rhapsody of Fire. I am old school, and I don't call them Rhapsody of Fire because they had to change their name, right? They had to add the of fire. And so I never call them Rhapsody of Fire. I just call them Rhapsody because that's, it was like 2003, and I'm like, Holy Thunder Force is just my jam, but yeah, and it's what's also funny about heavy metal is that we were talking about Priest last week, and I was at the commercial kitchen where I do my I do the vegan meats, and the guy that is the director of the community kitchen was talking about how he knows Tim Ripper Owens, who was the guy that filled in. He took over Rob Halford's place in Judas Priest after he left. After Judas Priest was going to fall apart because Halford was.
Yeah, the guy that Rockstar is like based around, right?
Is that who it's about?
I think it's.
I just didn't.
I think that. I mean, I don't think it's like this is the Judas Priest story, but I think it was like, hey, a dude who sings in a cover band got to be the lead singer of the band that he was covering. Let's make a movie based on that premise.
And it is about yeah. But so he's from Akron, and so it's not that odd to come across somebody who's like, oh yeah, I am tertiarily connected to that person. But it was just a fun conversation because, when you look at me wearing all black, making vegan meat with tattoos down my arms, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that it's like, oh yeah, you were in a metal band for 9 years. But it seems to shock every single person I meet. I am not a big fan of Satriani. I don't really like guitar wank kind of music, like I like stuff that has a bit more direction to it, and I feel like Satriani and Yngwie and guys like that were kind of Steve Vai, guys like that were like the virtuosos in the 80s in particular, are just kind of stroking their own egos. So it's not really my thing. I respect the skill, but I don't listen to it. But I listen the fuck out of Rhapsody, so I guess I'm just being an absolute hypocrite.
So, what are we going to do on this episode besides shoot the shit? There is one thing that's on the docket. Brian supposedly is joining us. We'll believe it when we see it. But I will show you this. This is an old card that we've kept around the house. I'm using this to cover up addresses. But this, Mr. Jim Kelly, is a card that Brian sent to him for his first Father's Day when Brian moved. There's Brian on the back side with his address. And just to give you a little hint about what's inside this is so this
you guys have the weirdest relationship with your dad. I guess I really shouldn't, say much because nobody has a good relationship with their dad, and if you do, you're lying. But that's a weird one for real.
Well,
also, Tom,
that's not the end.
No, I know it's not the end. It's just the beginning. Tom, I know you're trying to be cheeky, but fuck you, because literally Rhapsody was Rhapsody for like 10 years, 15 years, and then they got sued by somebody else and had to change their name to Rhapsody of Fire, which is a shitty fucking name. So it's not like I'm being some sort of, oh my God, he exists.
He exists. All right. So
And he's not like listening. And yeah.
So Brian, I've got the drawings that you sent Dad a couple years ago. Do you want to give a little bit of a background on what I'm about to show Scott and the game that we're going to play here?
It's art.
So Brian sent my dad a stack of pictures, and I'm going to cover up. Almost all of them are named. So I'm going to cover up the name. Let Scott look at the picture and try to guess what the name of the painting is.
Okay, it's a penis. Is it the Giving Tree?
It is the Lock Dick Monster. So let's see.
Ryan's gonna be vaping so fucking hard this entire episode,
dude. So I stacked these from approximately best to worst.
Why would you do that?
Or sorry, worst to best. Worst to best. Worst to best.
Okay, there you go. E Dick. E.T. Dick's extra dick rescue.
E.T. the extra testicle.
Wait. Can you give me some background on like how old Brian was when he did this? Was it like
this was what, 4 or 5 years ago?
23 or 24.
So
yeah.
Actually, I knew you. I may not have like known you, but I knew you.
I existed.
Jesus Christ, fucking child.
This is my last week, Thomas.
Literally today he was like, so how many more weeks of this are there?
So this next one I'm not going to have you guess. There's a handful of these weird ones. So I'm going to tell you what it's called and then show you the picture for this one. And it's called Productive...
Wait. So before we go, Derek is referring to what I was waiting on. Do you know what foods are dick-shaped? The best kinds.
All right, so this one was called Productive Penis, Helping an Old Lady Across the Street.
I ran out of ideas.
Yeah, my favorite part is watching the number of viewers drop. Most of them are. There's a handful of weird ones. I have them scattered about. Let's see. What's the next one here? This one also. You know what? I'll let you. So this one is not a movie title, but so that's the drawing. Can you guess what the name of this painting is?
Dick assault. I don't know.
Dicks and stones may break my bones.
Okay. I guess I am the most mature one on the show. It's not saying much, but I am the most mature one.
All right, we're getting into some of the movie ones now. So this one is the hardest one, I would think, pun intended.
The hardest dick.
That's a plane. I gotta tell you, that's a plane. That's a bad plane.
Yeah, I know it's a fucking plane.
Looks like a
I've been to kindergarten. Is it First Nut? Rambo,
no.
First Nut?
Black Hawk Dong.
Not my bad.
He's a special one. This one literally just says "dick in a box," and it's a Jack in the Box with a dick popping out of it.
I like how I saw that one.
Are like,
you're really proud of that one.
I know exactly what Brian's penis looks like because it's so embarrassingly weird.
Very mushroomy.
All right, this is the last. My friend just texted me and said, "Tuned in for the first time, and I see a penis crossing the street." So this is the other productive penis. Productive penis saves a kitten from a tree. So
it doesn't have arms to like grab the.
Oh, does yours?
I don't know. The anthropomorphic dicks doing great things. I don't know.
All right, so now we're getting into the rest from here on out are exclusively movie posters.
Okay.
Some of them I looked at to hopefully prepare myself to read them, but then other ones I just so there's a lot happening here.
Is that Cock Wars like Star Wars? Is that Yoda with it? I don't fucking know.
So you're in
lots of dicks, 2 dicks.
Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Dick. Brian, you got Black Hawk Dong incorrect. We're at the halfway point here.
Was it about a helicopter?
We're gonna do a 30-minute because Brian got here 10 minutes late.
I don't remember. Listen, who is in Black Hawk Down? Because that and the one with Owen Wilson came out like the same year, and I always forget. I'm thinking Saving Private Ryan. See, there was a lot that went on, isn't there?
Yeah,
Saving Ryan's Privates.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
So there's this one.
That was porn.
Oh,
I was sorry. I was looking up who was in Black Hawk Dong. I would have been Black Hawk Down, or maybe that's actually kind of offensive. Matt, edit this out. Oh shit, we can't.
all those well-known actors. Yeah, I don't know anyone.
So Matt, what do we got here, buddy? Giving. I can't. Giving.
What does that
I
say?
can't read it, dude.
Oh, it says giving big penis a run for its money. There's no pun in this one. It's just fun with Dick and Jane, starring Jim Harry. And what the hell is this one supposed to be, Brian?
Peonies. Peonies are a flower, Matt. I mean, okay. You're
all right, Scott.
Let's do who's in Black Hawk Down.
I have nothing but faith for Scott on this one. I feel like, and people viewing, feel free to throw in comments. Oh, Josh Hartnett.
Megan's screaming from the other room. Yeah, McGregor!
He has a hand there.
Yeah, so the dick has a hand. Dickzilla? Oh, no. King Dong. King Dong!
Boom! King Dong!
Yeah!
Scott's got one. All right, let's see. We only got a couple more.
Brian and I are just like vaping and drinking kombucha like it's going out of style.
I don't think. Well, dude, Scott, if you get this one, I'll be very excited because this is the one with the least anything going on with it. And also, people watching along.
Well, I think there's a lag because you're giving the answer before we can see their guesses.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Matt's lagging pretty hard, but it's okay. So there's a gun and a piece of pizza, and it's smoking a cigarette.
I think that's a magazine.
Dick.
Yeah, it's definitely a magazine.
Oh.
Smoking a cigarette.
I only know it's a magazine because I know the original poster.
Oh, it's Pulp Fiction, but it's a Dick Fiction or something like that.
Pulp Diction.
All
right, let's see. Okay. Scott, you may or may not get this one. I forgot. There's one other one that is in a movie poster. Derek, I'm looking at you. I think you can. Derek, I have faith in you.
I don't.
Woo!
It's a movie poster?
No, it's not.
Oh, is it Dick Flair?
Dick Flair, it is.
Yeah. Really did it for me.
Let's see. We got four more. We can do this. All right.
Are you serious? Oh. We have to talk about horror movies after this because
we will.
I'm starving, dude.
Another one that's actually not a pun.
It's just Dick Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Tracy. All right.
I mean, come on, Brian. Give me something to work with.
Come on, 23-year-old Brian.
Tom would have gotten it all. Tom, if you want it, you got it, buddy.
All right. So I feel like This was when Brian was running out of ideas, but had to finish off like a thing of paper.
Titanic.
Think?
No,
it's not a very
Rocky
good one.
Horror Dick Show.
Close. The Cocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, there we go.
Um,
Let it be known that Matt said at the same time as me in my life. I don't know how fast it is in the actual reality of the live stream.
You said it a little bit before him.
I got it. All right, good. Thank you. 2 against 1. Fuck you, Matt.
It's a good bird.
There's a Game of Dongs. I don't know.
Game of Bones.
I was pretty close.
And then the last,
in my opinion.
the last one. I saved this for last.
Come on, Matt. I'm waiting. Cocky.
Close. It's one of the sequels to Cocky. Cocky 4. So Brian,
Cocky 4 inches.
well,
You know, like
I suck.
yeah, probably the only Father's Day card our dad has actually kept for 5+ years.
it's the only one he's ever gotten. You know, no, Matt gives him one every day. Dad, I love you. Please love me back.
All right,
I'll play
so
baseball with you now.
So this
I'm
was fun.
33.
yeah, that was a good time. I've been waiting for Brian to be on the show to do this. This has been sitting by my computer for months.
Hey, Brian. Let's be identical twins where we're both. Oh, we're just inverse because we both have tattoos, and you're wearing a white shirt and I'm wearing a black shirt. My hair is back, your hair is forward, and Matt's wearing. Hey, Matt, come close to the screen so we can see the top. Dick or treat. Cocking. Cockheads.
Metallic balls.
Metallic
Metallic
balls.
ball.
The Cock Sabbath story. I don't know what the rest of them are, but Dick or treat is really where we're. Yeah. Don't talk shit about uncircumcised penises, Tom.
All right. So what have you guys been watching? I know we haven't recorded for a couple weeks now. 2, maybe 1. But we haven't done a
2.5.
2.
It feels like a
long time. I watched Becky.
Yeah, I watched it because you sent me your Amazon Prime login. No, it's the Kevin James one where it's basically like a violent Home Alone
with Kevin
involving
James as a neo-Nazi.
Yeah. It's a bunch of neo-Nazis bust into her house, and she it just came out this year. It's a new one. I think it was the last film to get a theatrical release before.
They're neo-Nazis?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know for sure, but he has a big swastika tattooed on the back of his head that gave me a hunch. But they never actually say
Tom,
that.
There's no such thing as not shitty anime.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to tell Tom a little something, dude. I have been having some fucking serious. Well, it's getting a little better lately because I've been cutting back on my drinking. But I was having some serious insomnia, and during COVID-19 because I just can't turn my brain off. But I was watching Parasite with the Y on Netflix, and I tried so hard to finish the series, dude. I got to episode 14, and it was so slow, and it wasn't good, and it was just so ham-fisted, and I was just like, this is why I don't watch anime. I couldn't finish Castlevania Season 3. I couldn't watch any of that new Ghost in the Shell, which isn't technically anime. It's more like CGI anime, but I'm trying, dude. I'm trying for you, but it's not good. It's not good.
I mean, you could always give
Chris, there's no such thing as good anime, dude.
I've actually never watched any, so I can't really.
I've said before, I only own 2. I own Akira and I own Fist of the North Star. Fist of the North Star is the only one I could even see Scott liking.
When I was in junior high, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's where it peaked. So some people are saying Perfect Blue. Didn't we watch that for Reddit Horror Club?
I watched, yes, and I hated it, dude. No, Tom, I'm sorry, but I've tried many times to watch fucking anime, and it's just not for me, dude. Like, it's slow. The pacing sucks.
So maybe you should
Even
try
Ghost
to
in the
watch.
Shell, which I love.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about. I also watched The Floor is Lava, and man, it's so dumb, but I think we have a shot, guys. Like, I think that we should
Wait,
form
what
a
is it?
team. It's literally a game show on Netflix based on the childhood game The Floor is Lava.
How has that
But it's-
not become a game show yet? Like, it was
but
one of those things I never thought of, and then it was on. I was like, I'm actually amazed that in 2020 this is a new show.
Yeah. It's like, so it's literally like they have a room and like there's different stages. So it's like, ooh, the basement, the study, like it's different like household rooms, and it's filled with red bubbling liquid. And then it's like a basically a maze that you as a team of 3 have to work your way from one end of the room to the other end of the room without falling into the lava. And it's 3 different teams. So every person that successfully gets it from your team, you get a point. So it's whichever team gets the most members without them slipping on like anything and falling into the lava. So it's like
But Matt, you're ignoring the fact that none of us are very athletic.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think it's comical that the first episode is 3 identical twins that all go to the gym together every day. Matt was like, HMN should do this.
Yeah,
We should.
listen, I've been campaigning. I
Well,
messaged
there
my
were
friends
two
from
brothers on the
college.
show.
Listen, it's not about you gotta think outside the box. It's literally not it's not that we would win, but it would be great
It's that we
exposure
would
for the
all wear
podcast.
H&M
Yeah.
shirts. I know.
I will. I
We
will.
would make $0, just
Yeah,
like
I-
we're making right fucking now.
I'm gonna make a deal with you, and you
Lauren,
know
Lauren,
how
Lauren,
close.
if we don't get in, I'm hedging my bets. I'm trying to get like 3 or 4 different submission
No,
tapes with me.
we're
in
not
it.
doing. We're only going to do this under one circumstance. I'm going to move Dad's recliner up 2 feet, and you have to jump from the couch to the recliner. And if you can, I'll sign up tomorrow.
All right. I think I can do it. I have faith.
Can we go back to Tom's comment about that he doesn't like ICP? Because he's implying that I do.
Yeah, what's that? A hot take, Tom? You think you're really pushing the envelope with that?
That's the
Hey.
coldest take.
Hey.
One of us does.
Let's-
Matt likes ICP.
First of all, not only do I like ICP, but there is yet a second meme going around that's like, man, if you would have told me 2020 was the year that we found out ICP cares about human beings more than our own government, it would have blown my mind. Because not only have they canceled the gathering because, and I love this quote, if even one juggalo or juggalette's life is risked in the name of ICP, it's not worth it. But then the other thing is that they had to reprint their "Fuck Your Rebel" flag shirts because they sold out so quickly
Hell
that they're
yeah.
doing a second run
I
of it.
just saw that today.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing, though.
And
I
I love
never- Sorry, Scott. I never shut them
I was
down
just gonna say,
because I thought they were
I
shitbags.
would have never expected that.
Yeah.
I never thought
Yeah,
that
like
they were shitbags. I just didn't like their
I
music.
would have been like, well, no, like I imagined that based on the people that liked ICP when I was in junior high and high school, that ICP were a bunch of shitbags, right? Like it was the lowest of the low, dumbest of the fucking dumb people that were like,
Woot woot.
quote, fuck ICP.
Yeah.
Juggalo life. And you know, it didn't actually stop when I left high school. When I moved to Akron, which is a massive hub for juggalos because the gathering is literally the next town over, which we've talked about on the podcast. But if you're here, you're probably not listening to the podcast because you haven't been turned off to us yet. But there are a fuck ton of juggalos, and you know, I don't think they're stupid. My opinions have changed because when they were popular, it was like the dumbest fucking people liked them. But as they became more niche, you know, as time went on and people were like, okay, well, I grew out of that phase and I'm now listening to fucking Nickelback, or like, I'm just going to listen to Ted Nugent talk from now on, you know, like, Kate, that is true. No, that's not true, Tom. Maybe in Florida because Florida sucks.
Well,
and
hold on.
Ohio is We just had this conversation, Brian.
You just have to remove who like ICP with in Florida, and it still holds true.
Literally, it's Florida people suck. Like I actually gave Brian shit about this yesterday in Messenger. I was like, Brian, why do you live there? And Brian didn't have to say it. I know it's because he got kicked out of his own state.
Yes.
So the statute of limitations are about to end. So maybe we'll see Brian back in a state that doesn't blow and won't fall into the ocean.
Maybe I would move to Akron.
Dude,
to be closer to those juggalos.
Yeah. Well, no, here's the thing. Scott couldn't survive in Aston. He couldn't. Because when I was on a diet and I wasn't even trying to be vegan, there's just like, hey, so we got an Applebee's or pizza shops. What do you want to eat? That's it.
It's literally like, do you want to be vegetarian? Eat cheese pizza forever.
Yeah.
Or fucking French fries. Every time I've been there, the only thing I've eaten is French fries. And I love French fries.
That is a lie. You've had a lot of Taco Bell.
No, it's not true. I've had Taco Bell one fucking time since I've been there. Oh,
also, you've only been in Aston for like 6 hours.
Dude, I'll tell you what. For $1, the rice and beans burrito, that's a bargain. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, what you do is when you Taco Bell actually is Taco Bell was until 2020. Taco Bell was the ultimate like vegan junk food place, fast food place. Because you'd go and you'd get the 7-layer burrito fresco, and that means you get extra guac on it. And thanks, Joe. With the 7-layer burrito, you can also Megan, what's the is that a Crunchwrap Supreme? Yeah. Yeah, you can get the Crunchwrap Supreme with beans and rice, no cheese, and you get one of those, and you get a 7-layer burrito fresco, and you basically what? With potatoes, add potato, and you will be basically full for a good 24 hours. So Taco Bell is like, that's like $7 worth of food. That can feed me for a day. But also, like, now we have the Impossible Burger at Burger King, or the Impossible Whopper at Burger King, and there's actually a Burger King right next to the kitchen where I do my production. And so I'm like, I'm getting out of the kitchen at 11 a.m. Do I not? And I'm like, do I want to shit my brains out tomorrow? No, because I love the flavor of the Impossible Burger, but I don't love the methyl cellulose they put in it, which is a binding agent, which is not something that humans can actually like digest, and so you shit it out. It's like most if you guys ever tried Matt, I'm pretty sure you've had the Beyond sausage, right?
I've had the Beyond sausage. It was all right. I had the Beyond Burger, which I liked, but obviously for someone who eats meat regularly, I prefer the Impossible Burger. It is basically the exact. Yeah, it just tastes what I want when I have a burger. So like obviously, and you and I've talked about this. Like I eat a burger no matter what, but if Impossible Burger is on the menu and it's an extra like $2, I'll drop the extra $2.
Dude, I'm getting 2 for sticks. They're $3 a piece in Akron. I don't know because they're supposed to be like $5.50, and they come up as $5.50 when I'm going through the drive-through, and then like it'll be $6. I'm like, okay, fine with me. But so like, yeah, I'll buy 2 at a time. But like they put methyl cellulose in Beyond Burgers and Impossible Burgers and Beyond Sausage and all that shit. And like, I'm not actually putting that in my product because it makes me feel like garbage. But it's like, that's what I'm getting at is like, if I'm out, if I'm hungry and I'm, if I'm going to feel like crap, no matter what, it's either going to be an Impossible Whopper or it's going to be Burger King. I'm sorry, Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
But
or it's
going to be French fries. When we go
here's
to restaurants together, you and me, it's like you, me, Brian, and Kyle. There was just the 4 of us when we went out last spring, right?
When we were in Jersey, when we tried to get something.
Yeah, we went to Jersey, and I just had French fries and ketchup and too much whiskey, and that was my dinner that night. So that was a bad decision.
In your
I
defense, though,
definitely
you could
peed
have.
out of my butt the next day.
In your defense, it was totally fine for you to be drinking whiskey at that point because the only thing left we had to film was just Brian and a bunch of children. So, like, you could be as drunk as you wanted to be.
No, the drunkest you're ever going to see me is one time we recorded fucking subspecies.
It was something. It was something in the hotel room.
Whatever it was.
No, it was Nocturnal.
Pop Rock.
Yeah, it was Nocturnal.
I can remember, we recorded those back to back, right? And I was just lit during subspecies, and then I was drunk during Nocturna, and you'll never see me drunk like that again. And I wasn't even that drunk. I was just like annoying, you know.
Yeah.
I was waking.
I just like I said, the
the
biggest memory I have of that, and it's a bummer that he wasn't able to be here, but something came up. Kyle was going to be joining us too. Was that Kyle fell asleep as we were recording an episode, and then Scott woke him up with his like rant, and like he woke with a smile. Like it wasn't like you annoyed him with waking up. He was so happy to be awake.
Well, it's because he was drunk too. That's the only reason he wasn't annoyed. Like everybody else was. Well, I don't know if anybody else was annoyed. I'm gonna put myself.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, Brian thinks it's the greatest thing that's ever happened in the history of the show.
It's going to be released one day.
It's because I was talking about.
Don't do that. Don't you do that. You stop that.
You know, I don't think that we'll ever get past how great your subtitle was last week when you said "not a member of RBF."
Yeah,
because that was just so good.
Yeah, so well, because I was sitting here waiting for everybody else, and I like literally just got out of the shower and combed my hair back. So I was like, my hair slicked back. I had like sideburns down to here, and I was wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and I was like, oh god, I look like the lead singer from Real Big Fish.
Yeah, you look like Aaron. Wait. So the bigger question is, why don't you have those sideburns this week? Because I still have mine. I
probably just when I shave in the shower. I shave blind.
Ooh,
yeah.
No, blind. Dude, you can't do that. Yeah, see, well, Brian, I think that you're not allowed to
look over there and see if Silent Bob thinks that's a good idea.
Well, apparently I do it wrong because I always shave post-shower, and apparently you're supposed to shave pre-shower. So I don't know.
What? Dude, I'm 37 going on 38, just like the song from Sound of Music. And I have never shaved before the shower or in the shower, unless we're talking about my nether regions.
Gotta do it dry. Women's razor, dry.
On your ball sack, yes.
Yeah,
that's exactly how to do it, Brian. Good job. So what was the
heard it here first?
What was the vasectomy like for you? The home done.
No, I'm being serious. You think I'm goofing?
I do think you're goofing because I have shaved my balls for 20 years and no way in hell.
On my life, a women's razor, dry. No. I promise. Where's Thomas? Thomas will take the hit. Thomas will test my theory because he trusts me.
No one trusts you. No one trusts you with their balls like that. I don't trust you with my balls like that.
Okay, Thomas, you're a sick man. Get him out of here. Remove the comment.
Right. Listen, so I shaved today. Okay, Joshua, when do you shave your nuts, dude? Because like, that's quality content.
Here's the most depressing thing that I can think of is that we've had.
Did you never shave your balls?
No. For weeks we've had guests, and like we get a good amount of people who watch the show later on in the week, but like usually the amount of people watching us live is like, I don't know, 5 to 7 people. But we've talked about shaving our balls and Brian's pictures and Brian's pictures of penises. And this is the most people we've ever had watching us live. It's insane.
Called the snowball effect, dude.
Oh God, Thomas. Listen, I need someone to listen to me.
He watches anime, he does that to his scrotum, and he loves like fucking Giallo. I mean,
well, he watches us and listens to us religiously, which is the most painful thing of human beings to put themselves.
Like,
yeah.
I owe him literally my life because like no one else gives as much of a shit about us as he does. Well, I mean, like, you know, in the listenership. Yeah, Joshua, come on now, bro. No. You know, no. All right, so you know, I want to go back to things we've watched because I so full disclosure, we didn't finish it. But on Dog Dad's Day, Megan was like, "You can watch whatever you want," and I was like a bit worn out because I had a day, like I had a weekend because I was fulfilling all of my pre-orders for my business, blah blah. And so Megan was like, "Just have some wine, and we'll just sit on the couch and chill." And she was like playing Candy next to me, kind of paying attention, and I put on Candyman because it was on Hulu, and I was like, "Ooh, you've never seen Candyman? Let's watch Candyman." We got about halfway through, and I was like, "This movie's so heavy." And I mean, we'll finish it, right? But like, wow. But anyway, I'm stoked about the new Candyman. No, dude. My favorite dog movie is literally watching my dogs sleep. They were so Albie, the new dog, was just kind of doing this on Megan's leg tonight while we were watching. We finished Captain America: First Avenger because we gotta drain all the juice, which is probably not the best analogy.
Wait, we have to do what?
We have to
drain all the juice. Available at your local Walgreens and CVS.
Dude, Derek. Post that, Derek. No, next one.
I know. I'm using context.
Okay. So Derek, Philip Glass. I absolutely love the score from Candyman, and I love the score from Candyman more than the movie, actually, because I'm a basic white boy, right? But the actually, I did the "It Was Always You, Helen" melody on Horrors. Was that 2? Matt,
It was
that
2.
Yeah. And I absolutely love that. I love that melody so much. It is one of the most haunting melodies that I have personally heard.
Right.
Listening to it in the movie versus like what I had written and recorded was just super trippy because I hadn't watched that movie since I was in high school.
Yeah. So I do want to.
No, it wasn't First Horrors. It was the second one. The first one had Halloween,
Chopping Mall,
Phantasm, and Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. I was going to say, but you did package. There's the VHS box that's R's 1 and 2.
Yeah. So Tom actually has that on. I sent it to him in the packaging years ago, and so he's not wrong, like technically, but also technically he is wrong. So
plus that was on the Pop Rock and Horror video done by Totem Visual.
Yeah. Hey, I see Buddy in the background. Go grab him.
Come here, buddy.
So while we're waiting for Brian to get Buddy, let's address the most important thing that's happening in the world of Horror Movie Night, specifically in our Patreon, which is the voting for the August movie.
Oh my God, Buddy.
So we got a bit of a snafu happening right now.
I'm so upset. I'm so fucking upset because you said you guys were going to fight for me.
Who?
So, Scott made the decision that he wanted the Patreon movie to be Wet Hot American Summer. And he said, guys...
You guys agreed!
And you were like, guys, just throw some shit in there that no one could ever possibly vote for. So I was like, all right, well, I was going to pick Heavyweights, but Heavyweights might actually put up a fight with Wet Hot American Summer. So let's go with My Stepmother is an Alien, which I don't think anyone's ever heard of and no one would really give two shits about. And based on the voting, I was correct because that's the one with the least amount of votes. However, we are currently looking at a tie between Wet Hot American Summer and Brian's pick, who somehow was under the impression that no one had ever heard of Nothing But Trouble, one of the most infamously bad movies that's ever been made.
It's not bad.
Tom, do you like listening to us do impressions? Do you like listening to us just talk about how funny the movie is? Yes? then you need to pick that.
Day bidet.
I think Tom is under the impression that we've already discussed Wet Hot American Summer enough in the last. How long has Brian been on the show? 2 years.
2 years.
Year and a half?
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, no. Yes, Tom, we are going to take whatever we want to from Brian because Brian fucked us so hard this summer with his actual main feed picks.
Oh, guys, you don't even know. You don't even know what's coming up.
The write-ups
When did you,
so hard for me not to be mean to you.
When did you last watch? Because you said you just listened to the same song. When did you last watch the music video for it?
Isn't the music video literally the scene from the movie where they?
No, it's them at the drive-in. And Dan Aykroyd wants to get tight with them so bad. I don't know if this is, he didn't put on any makeup or anything, but he did make himself a member of NWA in the music video. Which was interesting.
Question, because I know that Tupac is in the movie as a backup singer, but the movie never gets to his actual verse. Does the music video have the Tupac verse?
Music video has Tupac verse. Although we lose it in the movie, we do get when Digital Underground, all of them are like, when Dan Aykroyd was playing the keyboard. I watched as soon as I thought it might be. I started watching clips on YouTube, and then listen. I made a decision.
What are you guys laughing about?
I made it.
Brian's face of what Digital Underground does when they see Dan Aykroyd playing a keyboard.
I made a decision. Right, it's $4 to rent, and it's $8 to buy. Since our schedules are stupid, if it wins, I will just buy it on Prime and then give you guys my login to watch whenever you get a chance.
Well, I mean, I don't. I won't need the login.
You own it.
Yes, just give it to me. I'll give you $4. Okay. Dude, hey Matt, can you move your entire camera to show people your embarrassing? I love the fact that if you look at it, it's Boeing.
It's not a bad movie.
It's a bad movie.
It's not, dude.
What's Boeing?
Dude,
every time you ever see
go to the
Outdoors?
right of your screen, Matt. Go to the right screen. Look at his fucking.
Yeah, it's ready to
there.
explode.
It's Boeing.
Yeah.
You need to get some high
it's
qual.
all so
those are made of fucking particle board.
No, so here's what the issue is.
No,
with this
I don't
one.
want to hear your excuses.
No. It is buckling, but it's the fact that there's 20 seasons of The Simpsons up here, plus all 5 seasons of.
When are you going to watch 20 seasons of The Simpsons?
Thanks, guys. And you pay for Disney Plus that has all 20.
These were purchased before Disney Plus was a thing. Yeah, Disney bought Fox. So the bigger issue here is the 5 seasons of 6 Feet Under, because they have these extra thick boxes that are stretching out the board.
I love how you're like, oh, that's the issue. No, it's the issue is that you have shitty particle board,
Do you know how hard it is to find good DVD shelves in an age where everyone uses digital stuff? I take what I can get from Big Lots.
It's called Buy It Once, Matt.
Let's see. All right, whatever. So,
hey, so what about horror? Are we going to talk about horror, or are we not horror movie night?
I don't think anyone really checks in for us to talk about horror anymore.
Talk about how awesome Thin Mints are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
What?
Nah.
Low ranking on the Girl Scout cookies for me.
Well, it's the only vegan one, so
that'll do it.
So apparently, this is the Scott's a vegan episode. They're like, how people will talk about oh, how do you know someone's a vegan? They'll tell you it's this episode.
You're not as natural as me.
It's okay, so that's the episode for me, and then for Brian, it's the how do we know Brian is a recovering addict? We got the answer because he's vaping, and then how do we know Matt is straight edge, and you can tell by his hair
and everything in the background.
No, actually, how do you know Matt is straight edge? Is the fact that we recorded an episode with a another podcast on. Thank you. Same here, Joshua. I think it was 2 weeks ago. We recorded with a friend who is also a friend's podcast who is also on the Geekscape network, and it is coming out soon. And
Not this week, but next week.
To get hype, someone, Matt, to enjoy, to ride the high of being on the show, someone decided that the best thing to do, instead of having a beer, is to listen to his 4 favorite episodes of the podcast.
Yeah, and it was a great night. And this is, I think Tom just summed up our podcast in the most accurate sentence that I've ever read.
It's true. It's true. Dude, you don't understand. The next month, you're gonna understand. Hey, what are we doing for October this year? Are we gonna do like any sort of like because I've been trying to
if we don't do a theme, then I'll be picking a movie that you've been wanting me to pick for like a year. So
if one person comments, watch Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred, I will pick it for October.
Don't do this to us. I couldn't get through that trailer. That was awful.
I didn't even watch the trailer. I saw the screen cap and I was like, I'm not watching this.
Oh man, it is it's bad. It's bad. Yeah.
John Cena's in there playing his dad, but like, oh god. See, this is what happens when you suggest themes. All right?
That's the great thing about Tom, is that he's going to listen whether or not we give him shit and whether or not we do what he wants. So
listen, defend me, guys, on my picks. They're not going to defend me. I need them. Oh, Christopher Robinson.
You're saying guys as in people that are watching right now.
People that are watching. I care about the good of everyone. Matt is the most selfish human being. Go to our podcast page. Go to Katie's post, right? You had to say 4 horror movies. I picked things that were necessary for the genre to thrive. Matt picked Monster Squad and 3 other movies he really liked. He doesn't care about the good of the genre.
I picked Monster Squad, Sleepaway Camp, Ghostbusters, and Beetlejuice. So I picked our 50th, our 100th, and our 200th episode, and Ghostbusters.
And spoiler alert for people watching. Yeah, exactly. Tom. Brian picked Octoman, The Plague. He picked fucking Bloody Murder 2, Closing Camp. He picked. Can I tell? Wait, what's? Yeah,
let's just.
This week is your pick.
This week's my pick.
Next week is Brian's pick, right?
Yeah, the following
week.
Is that the
one that's the
Yes. Yes, that's the one. That's the one where we get 5 minutes of episode out of it.
So hey,
I want
Tom,
you guys to tell
you love Giallo. Do you love Mario Bava because it's your week, buddy?
It has my favorite Brian quote in the 2 years that he's been on the show, which is when I tried to throw us to double feature, and it's only like 11 minutes into the episode. And you're like, he goes, listen, guys, I know that we have a problem with this movie, but like, it's our problem to deal with, and we need to give people more than this.
Bloody Murder 2 is, I mean, I don't know how you can watch without understanding Bloody Murder 1, but just go in blind then, Thomas.
Dude, the thing about Bloody Murder 2 is that Bloody Murder 2 has so many boobs in it, and none of them are what I want to see. Like, every one of them makes me feel bad about myself.
Okay, you see a lot of sadness and desperation. I did try to ask Scott out on a date, but he hasn't accepted my offer.
I did the Democratic thing in the times of COVID. I said, sounds like fun with a smile emoji. And that's how you get out of plans when you don't want to get COVID.
That's a
Brian,
idea.
I wish that you were up here in August, because the local drive-in is doing a 2-night trauma drive-in marathon. and the one night is Toxic Avenger, then Terra Firma, and then Poultrygeist. And I was like,
Okay,
oh.
so here's the problem: is that I can't watch Poultrygeist again. I've seen it twice, and it makes me sick. It's disgusting.
I can't get over the fact that you just say sounds good with an emoji face and you get out of plans.
Hey, Brian, you need to
That's a
practice
good
that,
idea.
or else you're gonna get sick and die because
Yeah.
you live in Florida and no one wears a fucking mask.
Well, no, I don't go out anyway, but my thing is I just say a Snapple fact, and then that's it. So they'll be like, hey, do you want to come over this
where's
weekend?
my
And I
phone?
go,
I'm taking a fucking note.
a
This is
worm
what
can
I
hold
need
his
to do to
breath
get-
for 5 minutes, and then I just leave the chat because I'm still on AIM, apparently.
Chris Fafios was posted a thing on Twitter today that was like, hey, I'm feeling nostalgic. Let me know what your instant messenger name was. So I told him. It was
Wait, what was yours? Oh, yours was Skate for God or Ska for God. Jesus,
Skank.
right?
It was Skank for God 7. And he goes, Jesus Christ, that's the worst one I've ever heard. And I said, I said, 12-year-old me really wanted people to know that I was into God and I was also into ska. And apparently 6 other people had the same idea. So,
There weren't 6 other people. There was just someone that was at 3 and 6. And so you were like, okay, I'll do 7. Okay, Tom, I'm gonna come down to your town and we're gonna fucking bro job it out while
You're
watching
gonna wait.
Jaws and-
You wouldn't go watch Toxic Avenger with me in Pennsylvania, which literally got like a shout out for how well we've handled COVID, but you're gonna fly down to Florida to watch Return of the Living Dead.
Listen, if I'm going to either one, I'm basically sentencing myself to death by like my lungs being vomited out of my mouth.
This
So
is true.
if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out watching a movie that I actually give a shit about. And I've never seen Terra Firma. We're waiting to do it for the podcast. I've seen Toxic Avenger twice. I don't need to see it again. And I don't want to watch Poultrygeist the 3rd time. Like, it's
True.
a gross movie. The
I don't
only
even-
good thing about Poultrygeist, literally the only good thing about Poultrygeist is the Newfound Glory song from it. That's all there is to it.
Fair. I do want to, like, I don't really have that much of an interest in the Friday night screenings, except that they're finally going to show the Return to Nukem High Part 2 that I've been waiting for like 7 years. But
Can you read the
It's on-
full
it's
name
on
for me? Because
Prime.
it's like,
oh, it's like the Return
It's not
to
the
the
point.
Return. Yeah, it's like the Return to the Return of Nukem High Part Volume 2's, aka the second one, or something weird like that.
yeah, it's so absurd. It's like, you know how Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 got everything right, and it's fucking hilarious. Everything about Return to Nukem High can't be that funny.
Yeah.
So I'm done. Rain!
Don't let her try to come in now. She just popped in. Yeah, beat it. Can't slide in at the end.
We're like fucking like that's the dance move. Like I should get. She's probably in the shower, but if Megan wasn't in the shower, I'd make her come in and do her Michael Jackson dance because she is really good at 80s Michael Jackson dance moves, and she's not allowed to be that good at them.
So I've been going through a bunch of VHS tapes, clearing out like blank tapes, like just like no label on the tape, like what the hell is on this tape? And I found a tape that was literally just like Matt Kelly taping shit off of TV, and it was the weirdest collection of every episode of Pauly Shore's Fox show Pauly, one or
Good
two, one or two episodes of Drew Carey show, one episode of Spin City, and
I
then
remember. Can I take a guess? Because I remember that tape. One
Sure.
of the episodes of Drew Carey was when he dubbed over the water video.
I haven't found that
partnership.
one yet. I haven't found that one yet. That's the
That
big
was a
one that I need to
classic.
find.
That is comedy. You guys need to take notes.
digitize every single one of these fucking videos, and you're gonna have a cult classic YouTube channel. Like that's what you need to do.
So the big
I'm
so here's
forgetting
the
those-
hold on a
I'm
second. There's
talking
two
to-
more. There's two more that I
the
need to
thing is,
mention that were
you
on
don't
this.
even know how to you don't even know how to digitize anything because we're like, hey, can you digitize that for us? And you're like, no.
Nah, I'm not
selfish.
gonna.
He's selfish.
So
I have to spend money for the podcast.
one of the tapes had a single episode of Talk Soup on it, and that episode of Talk Soup
Dude, I'm gonna puke my mouth.
had the it was from like early 90s. So it was back when John Henson was the host of Talk Soup. But it ends, their clip, they always had like the clip of the week, and the clip of the week was the Daily Show segment where they go to the guy who has the world's largest porn collection card cataloged, and that's how I first heard of Let My Puppets Come, is that he's going through the card catalog and he finds P for puppets, and he's like, what's up with this? And then it cut to scenes from it, and that's why I own that, is that I was like, that can't be real. That's got to be something that they made up. This is something on Comedy Central. That's not a real thing.
I have to buy it to make sure.
I have to buy a bootleg and then replace that bootleg with the Blu-ray that Vinegar Syndrome put out when they have their halfway to Black Friday sale.
So, Matt, the question about Let My Puppets Come. Are there real dicks, or are the puppets coming like in the what's that movie with?
They never show the actual.
Murders?
They don't ever. Yeah, the Happy Time Murders. They don't ever actually show any like ejaculation. It's just felt penises and felt vaginas.
Are
they don't let
vaginas them. Like what?
No, they're like hand puppets.
Yeah,
they lied. Yeah, so
Matt, can you like mail me your copy of your bootleg copy of
I'll send you the bootleg when I get the Blu-ray. It'll be like the trade-off.
Yeah, the trade-off, because like I have Bring a Brat and Obsessed with Breasts too. That's my porn collection.
So
and I can have Let My Puppets Come as the trifecta.
The trifecta. The premise is that literally it's a puppet trying to pitch a puppet movie, and it just always turns into something pornographic. But the other thing this feels like it maybe was something Brian taped.
Rain.
See, Rain's got it. She's back on my good side. I don't know, actually.
Brian, did you
try to sundown? I haven't gotten over that yet.
Brian, I don't think I would have taped. I don't think I would have taped this. Did you tape a random episode of Maury one time? Because the name of the episode was "Stop My Mom from Being So Sexy."
I loved Maury as a kid. Maury always put me in my place. I was a young kid, and I was very, stereotypical mind, and it would be like man or a woman, like, and I'd be like, that girl is
stereotypical.
They'd be like, am I a man or a woman? I'd be like, that girl is so hot. That's a 10 out of 10. There's no way that's a man. And I'd be like, I'm a man. And I'm like, yeah, you are. Wait, what? I'm 10, and this is confusing, but I like it.
I saw the most offensive fucking. I want to tell you guys, I found the most offensive fucking comment on Reddit the other day. It was some fucking guy that was like, it was a trans woman, and the guy said he can't even pass, and it turns me on so bad. And I'm like, all about kink shaming. You guys know this. I fucking hate foot fetishists. Like, like all I do is kink shame. And I didn't do anything except downvote it, but it's been haunting me for days that this motherfucker, first of all, misgendered somebody, and then also was like, he can't even pass. I looked at the picture. I would not have known that person walking down the street. I would have been like, that's a woman. I wouldn't have given a second thought, and like I also wouldn't have sexualized them, but whatever. Like fucking.
Well, and this is here's the thing, Scott. It's because you still haven't let go of that cesspool that is Reddit. Like I haven't even set foot in there for like at least 2 years now because I don't trust it. I always feel like I walk away angry.
Oh my God, Scott sent that video yesterday.
I walk away from every
subreddit.
Fucking social media post and angry. Like it doesn't matter what platform it is, dude. I hate all social media. It's like except for a group. This literally only thing that doesn't upset me on a day.
I don't know. Did you see the votes that have been coming in today for?
Yes, I'm not upset because we already did an episode on it, and I'm an admin, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't care. I'm also not like Brian, who takes things personally.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Brian, the fact that movie made the top 10 is a compliment, but also, like I said, you need to fucking you're picking the bullshit that you're picking, and then you're getting upset that a movie that we could actually do a good episode on, you haven't picked.
You guys don't know what a good episode is. Nobody wants to hear us compliment someone.
Yes,
They wanna see us improve.
every third episode, let's please watch a movie that doesn't completely destroy our lives. Dude, you picked Devil Times 5.
Mm-hmm.
Just for a spoiler of people watching. Also, fuck you, Tom, because you're going to have to sit through us discussing 13 Ghosts this winter, strictly due to the fact that I'm picking that and Fright Night 2011 back to back. Literally, like.
This is a false comment.
See,
She did not change her vote.
why don't you check Facebook? I know that you're probably on
It's
Yahtzee
gone.
right
I
now.
watched it like a hawk. I watched it. You watched it. Unless she did it last minute to keep me on my toes, but I was watching. I said, she's going
Probably
to
did
change,
just
right?
now, dude. Just wants to not.
She's got to
The
change
best
it.
part about that was when she was like, "Girls, you're both pretty." That was the best comment like of the month on our.
Been
on our
waiting to hear
show.
that my whole life.
But yeah,
Brian just
no,
wants compliments.
guys. So know what? I will tell you this much. I won't say what the third poll is. We already know what the third poll is going to be. It's going to drop in July.
It's gonna be insane.
But after that third poll, we're going to do the craziest poll I could possibly imagine. And it's going to take us a full year to do it. And what we're going to
Is
do,
it really taking a year?
it's going to take a year because we're going to do 6 blocks of 50 movies we've discussed on the podcast. So we're going to do the first 50 movies, then 51 to 100, then 101 to 50, and so on and so forth. And then the top 5 from each one of those is going to battle against each other in a secondary poll afterwards to determine what's the best movie we've discussed in the first 300 episodes of the podcast.
It's going to be a little less
This
than a
thing
year.
Clown killer, dude. It's gonna take 2 months. I don't know what Matt's talking about.
What are you talking?
It's
There's going to take. It's going to take 300.
355 days.
No, it's going to take 3. So you're saying that now, but we're going to be well into episode 300 by the time I'm done. So it's going to be.
Shit!
It's going to be 300.
Wait, you're not waiting
and
until you're
30
waiting
episodes.
until next summer to do this?
No, I'm starting in August. But if we do a poll of 50, and then again we do a new poll of 50,
Oh,
and then we
the 300s will be the very end, and then
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
insanity. Are you gonna do like 2 polls a day for a bit so that people don't get sick of us, or?
I don't know, man.
maybe
I
people
just
get
know
more
that
sick of us. I don't know.
I need something to fill the empty void that is my daily work. So like,
Matt says the guy who recorded 4 episodes in 2 days. Of
I
other
was
podcasts that aren't his baby.
I was off for a week, and it was to get me caught up on other shows. In case you haven't noticed, Scott, we're good until the fall. So there's some shows that literally after next week's episode, I got nothing. So need to get them moving. I love my sister, but she goes on she has a lot of excuses to not be able to record when I need her to record. So
Is she related to your brother?
I just don't like these.
It's funny.
And my
you're absolutely. That's what's so funny is that people don't know is that you, Brian, are incredibly studious when it comes to the vast majority of Amen recording. But like when it comes to live shit, you are an absolute like warrior of virtue right now because you have been on for like an hour, and I am so impressed with you right now. But
everybody who's still watching, we'll give them a.
But here's the thing: once I made the commitment to Matt, I blocked out my Saturdays for the most part forever. Like it's like I don't do anything on Saturday until noon because my stuff is crazy. And then now this is throwing into my wrench. It's just I got a crazy week. My weeks
I know,
are crazy.
and listen, that's why when you're available, we'll have you on. You're a traveling man. Your job requires it. No disrespect. Love you. You're getting married soon. You got all types. You got stuff. People's got stuff.
Basically married.
Lord, I was born a rambling man.
Yeah.
I was thinking, hey, is Jay feeling better?
No. But I also had just gotten her medicine. So.
All right. Well,
yeah, I do have to take care of it.
I was gonna make a joke. I'm not. I'll make it in the messenger so that it's not out there for perpetuity.
What was the sibling burn? Did Matt burn me?
I think it was when I just called out Julie.
Yeah, it was him. It was Matt making fun of Julie and then you, but basically saying Julie's worse than you. It's so funny.
I would vote for one.
Meta.
All right, so let's wrap it up. Brian's.
Wrap it up with. I want to ask the other two guys, and then I want to suggest something. Let's tell everybody to watch a horror movie this week.
Okay.
And then we can just it doesn't have to be anything great. It doesn't have to be like fucking Hereditary. It doesn't have to be, sadistic, insane clown killer. Let's just say, if you have some free time, because we all got fucking free time, because we're still on a pandemic, in case you haven't forgotten, wear a fucking mask. If you have some free time, got an hour and 10 minutes, because most horror movies are short, Matt, Brian, and then I will suggest something to you. It doesn't have to be topical. It doesn't have to be anything. It just has to be something that we think that isn't well loved currently.
Okay.
And
Matt.
shut up, Tom. It's not going to be Giallo.
Sorry, I'm searching to see what movies are streaming. I'm going to give the listeners. I'm going to give the listeners the credit that no one. I'm giving them an advantage that you guys don't get. I'm going to say that most people have Netflix, if nothing else. While I'm searching for this, will say if anyone hasn't watched it yet, season 2 of The Politician was fucking awesome.
Speaking of twos, if anyone hasn't seen it yet, Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred is also a delight. And it's only $3 on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, Tom. I'm going to go last because that's what the volunteer does, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never listened to our show?
I'm just going to say Becky.
All right.
Okay. So
Becky. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch Becky this week.
So this one,
in it.
This one caught me off guard, and I feel like people would expect me to watch, to pick more of a horror comedy, but movie that I haven't watched in a really long time, but I always have had a pretty decent time watching, and I feel like not enough people know it. Session 9 is streaming on Netflix.
Ooh, my buddy from Mass lives right by that building that it's based off of.
Nice.
Yeah, spooky. Never saw it.
It's a great movie, but it is such a heavy movie.
Yeah,
it's super heavy.
And I've said this a few times before, but ideally, if you have a good sound system, that's the way to watch it. Like, I think watching on your phone will not really give you the same vibe as like something where you have surround sound or headphones plugged in or something, because there's a lot of cool sound things going on.
Yeah. And speaking of heavy movies, if you want to see heavyweight champion John Cena in his hit movie Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred, it is available on YouTube for $3.
God damn it. I would suggest, my Shutter's been fucking up lately, but I think Tourist Trap is on there. If it's not, it's on Prime. Either way, I am going to be watching Tourist Trap this week, whether or not anybody else wants to watch it, because it is a summer movie for me, and it is nice and warm and muggy here. So I highly recommend anybody else that has the opportunity to do so to watch Tourist Trap, because it is a great fucking movie.
Also, you mentioning Tourist Trap does remind me of the bonus series that we had talked about doing, and I still think we should do, which is you and I picking movies that I'm trying to think the best way to word this. So Brian didn't officially join the show until about episode 125, I want to say, maybe even like closer to 150.
I think it was closer to 150 because I was actually just updating the spreadsheet today.
But there's a lot of movies.
It's almost 150.
There's a lot of movies that we've watched that Brian wasn't around for and has never seen. And I think we should do a show where you and I, just based on memory, try to convince Brian to watch those movies.
Dude, if we could do 15-minute episodes of that, I would love it, because I was going through our list and I was just thinking like, God damn, I wish that Brian had been with us for I don't know, like, Death Spa and Aerobicide and basically every single, and Prom Night 2, Hello Mary Lou, like all of my favorite things that I've picked, Brian wasn't around for it. It's so frustrating
Mhm.
because it's like we can't go back to him, because what's the point of doing the same movie twice? And that's the problem of like the inertia of um the inertia Daniel Isn't Real. Derek, watch Daniel Isn't Real because you were talking about Daniel Jr. Anyway, but yeah, like I just wish that I wish that Brian had been with us earlier because there are so many movies and Tourist Trap is before Brian's time, and I just
All
wish
right,
that we had gotten to like
here's what we'll
subject
do.
him to all those.
Here's what we're gonna do. This is gonna sound crazy. Strap in, crazy.
I like this idea already. Let's go.
We're gonna record a couple of these. Brian will let us know at the end of the episode. All right, you've convinced me, or nah, doesn't sound like my cup of tea. We're gonna keep compiling a list, and then when we finally get to a point where we can all be in a room together for a live stream, the live stream will literally just be us showing Brian the movies that he said, all right, I'd watch that.
I like this. Brian, don't give me this stink face.
That's my Robert De Niro face.
Listen, I'm not invited to your COVID wedding, so this is your payback. All right.
Yeah. This is his COVID wedding gift.
Listen, I am sorry that you are not invited, but I am so happy that I have cut the list so small, and I am under 120 right now, and I'm hoping I can go further.
Yeah, Brian,
80. Go for
Brian,
80, dude.
I'm calling people. I said, "Hey, you coming to my wedding at the end of July?" They're like, "Absolutely." I'm like, "You realize there's a pandemic going on?"
Brian's sitting there where they're like, well, the downside is that everyone's got to sit 6 feet apart from each other, and we probably can't have any dancing. And he's like, fucking sounds great. Let's keep this go. Let's keep this momentum going.
It's gonna be better in June if we do it.
Oh, it's such a small wedding. I'm so happy. I just wish I can get some of my family off. But my mom said, you can't because it's your best man. I said, okay, fine.
The better man. I was actually making dinner tonight and I was thinking about that fucking scene.
Best man, better man.
You're a moron.
I think Josh is referring to my
All right. Let's wrap this up. Brian, you already posted this once before, so how about you just do a quick little plug on what you got going on, what people can do to support you.
Listen, man, I'm not going to do that. These people came here for entertainment. I'm not going to pitch my company, while they're just trying to get entertained. That's not what I do. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast.
All right, Brian, thanks so much. Have a good one. Thanks for toughing this out. I know you won't be here next week because you'll be flying back home. All right, bye. All right, Scott, as always, any excitement going on in the Roger house with the brand new thing? Boom.
Well, so 4 things, actually. So first of all, Albie is...
I see him.
Finally taking a nap. He's it'll be 1 month as of tomorrow, and he's still a maniac. But it's that puppy energy. But he's very sweet, and he's getting there. 2, pickedproteins.com. I am making vegan meat alternatives, and if you want to try them, watch for when I put together shipping to the continental United States, because I'm just waiting on my eco-friendly cooling packets. 3rd thing, I finished the music for Chris LaMartina, who is one of my favorite people, his WNUF Halloween special sequel. I'm doing a section called Mega Martian Fight Force, which is a Power Rangers ripoff, and I'm doing the themes. I did the theme song and the fight music for it, and I sent Matt and Brian the I sent them the fight music, and holy fuck, And also, Lauren, I have a ginger cookie recipe. It's a triple ginger cookie, so it's fresh ginger, candied ginger, and ground ginger recipe that I will post. If you want, should I post that on the
well, I was
group?
going to say, she's asking because they're the ones who, when you left a giant container of ginger cookies after a convention, they inherited the case and crushed it very quickly.
Yeah, dude, I can send that recipe over. I'm dude, his Power Rangers theme is better than my Mega Martian Fight Force, but you know, I'm just working off of the backs of giants. That's literally what I'm doing. And the last thing I was going to say is that I'm this week going to try to dive back into my Power Up Level 3 music, which is the fake Nintendo soundtrack that I've been working on for Console Crash. It's about 70% there before I can start tracking. I just need to basically bring all the disparate pieces together, and that'll be my next full Console Crash release. And once that's done, I will start working on the fourth piece, which is it's a 4 levels for 4 EPs for a full album. And that full album I will release as a metal version, which is what I've been working on. And I'm actually going to port it to Famicom and make a an 8-bit Nintendo version as well.
Nice. All right, good luck with all that, Scott. I'm sure anyone who's subscribed to the Patreon will get to at least hear the music.
You're going to hear Mega Martian Fight Force tomorrow.
Yeah,
not tomorrow.
next week. Yep. All right, and finally me. So I put out an episode of my favorite episode of today, which was with Matt from Wheatus, who talked to us about his favorite episode of The Simpsons. Tomorrow on the One Hit Thunder podcast, we've got Joshua from Juliana Theory, who's talking to us about Elastica's connection. And then if you've stuck it out this long, you guys get to know what Thursday's episode of Horror Movie Night is going to be. And it's Jaws 3D. So tune in for that. That will be something. I picked it. I'm sorry. But we will be back possibly next week. I don't know. Brian's going to be in town for the weekend, and we will see where my energy levels are by the time he leaves on Tuesday night. So don't be shocked if the live stream is put off for a week. But thank you for always watching, always supporting. You guys are the best. We love you so much. Thank you for Geekscape for always giving us the opportunity to do these live streams, and we continue to do them. And we will be back next week with, well, again, maybe not next week, but on Thursday, there will be an episode of Horror Movie Night, and that's really what's the most important thing. All right, bye, guys.